G'day guys, and welcome to today's Deployment Tech video for the day. It's to basically promote and demote your server to a domain controller. Now, after your installation, hopefully you've gotten this far without my help, and as soon as you log in, you'll get to your dashboard. Now, bear in mind this has gone past the steps of setting up a IP address, which you guys hopefully have done as a prerequisite for your server itself. Let's just make sure mine's still set. Yep, so have your IP version 4 set, have your date and time zone set to the right one, and it looks like it's correct. Go to your computer properties, make sure you have actually set up a name for your server, then go ahead and add roles and features. Click next, as it is a role-based or feature-based installation, not on the remote desktop service installations. Continue on, make sure it's the right server that you're on, and then select your Active Directory domain services. Also add DNS server, as this will become a very handy tool later on, and you will need to add this to run your domain controller successfully. Now, as you can see, I have selected the restart the destination server automatically, as this is a Hyper-V installation. So let's go ahead and install these services, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as this is done. Hi guys, and welcome back, and as you can see, the installation and configuration required is complete. Now, from this page, whether you passed this already or if you actually didn't notice this, you actually can promote your server to a domain controller from here. But let's just say, in the worst case scenario, you click closed, yeah, it's all finished, oh, you need to promote it. Normally you would need to restart after you have your roles added, but let's continue on. Let's say this is after your restart. If you go to your server manager dashboard, go down to Active Directory domain services, you'll see this little banner at the top, and if you have a look at the right hand side, you'll see the option for more. Click on more and you'll get the option for promoting the server to the domain controller. So let's go ahead, promote it. It'll give you the option of adding this server to an existing domain, adding a new domain to an existing forest, or just adding a new forest. Now we're going to go ahead, seeing as the company hasn't been established yet, and go to add a new forest. So let's make it dip tech, and a most important thing, you have to put a .net, .local, .global, .org, whatever it is you want to add it. I'm going to make it .net, and then you'll go next. Wait for it to do its little thing. It'll pop up to the next page with your domain controller options. Once it has done that, you'll see the option for your password, which just came up. Now this will be your recovery password, or in the case of, let's say you accidentally added this domain controller or you need to demote it, remember this password, you are going to need this. Now at a later stage, once you've set up your first initial domain controller, which is this one, if you set up your second domain controller, you'll have the option of a read-only domain controller. This will be in the case of a small site where you just need authentication for that, for a couple of clients on that site, and that's it. That'll relay everything back to your primary domain controller and not actually have its own settings on site. So let's go ahead and click next on that. It'll tell you, yes, you need to specify delegation options for your DNS, but we've already added the DNS on the side. Once you click next, it'll give you the NetBIOS domain name, which would be diptech, all in capitals. There you go, diptech, all in capitals. Click on next. That's just for your personal reference. At a later stage, if you want to ping the NetBIOS name, that'll be what you'll ping. As a default, I'll leave it on the C volume. You can change it. I guess it's recommended to keep it as standard, which is with all Microsoft products. Just keep it at standard, click next, it'll give you the review of all of your options. You click next. Otherwise, if you want to find out if your DNS is working, you'll ping your fully qualified domain name. on the next option it gives you where to store your databases. Cool. And as the prerequisites have gone through, you'll see at the bottom of your results window, all prerequisite checks pass successfully. Click install to begin installation progress. Let's do that, and I'll get back to you once this is done. And as you can see, the installation is done. It's warning you that it'll sign out and restart. Let's go ahead and click on Active Directory Domain Services. You'll have the option of the blue bar. Two ways of getting to your users and computers. You can either right click on that blue banner. It'll give you the options of Active Directory all the way through, Administrative Center, Domains and Trusts. Going down you'll see users and computers, which with my experience you use quite a lot, more than the other ones. The other place you can get to it would be under Tools. You have your same 5 options at the top. Let's just quickly go ahead, and there you go. Click on your domain and you have your computers, domain controllers, which will be this one. It would have picked that up, and all of your user accounts. Now getting back to, if you want to demote your server, go back to Dashboard, add roles and features, and you'll be presented with this page before you begin. Now I normally skip this page, but it has a very important function. Start the Remove Roles and Features wizard. If you click on that, it's exactly the same procedure as adding a role. You are mainly just removing the roles. So removing the Active Directory Domain Services role, I'm going to go ahead and select the Active Directory Domain Services because of this. Now you would have to demote your domain controller first before you can remove the role. So the easiest way I found is going through that wizard. It'll bring you to the option of saying you need to demote it first. It'll bring you to this page again, and after it's collected all of its necessary data, you'll get the option of force the removal of this domain controller. Click it, click next, proceed with removal, click next, and that password that you've set up in the beginning, that's where it's going to ask you for your password again. That's for recovery purposes or for demotion purposes. Click Demote. It needs to restart. Okay, and once it's restarted, make sure that when you log in, as soon as your dashboard comes up, it doesn't have any wizards going anymore, and your server has been demoted. Now generally it'll bring up the wizard again. It'll just be a confirmation that you have completed with your actions. So as you can see, you have the option to promote the server to a domain controller, which means the demotion worked. If you go back to add roles and features, before you begin, start the remove roles and features. Click next. Make sure it's a server that you want to remove the roles from. Let's go ahead and remove DNS server. Let's go ahead and remove Active Directory Domain Services. As you can see, it unticked it. Click next. You didn't add any features. Click next. Restart the destination server automatically. Yes. And remove. And you're done. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next video.